I've been in property for 17 years. That's half my life. And for the last 10 years, I've been teaching it. Most of the so-called mentors who started after me are already gone. They show up out of nowhere, big promises, flashy content and super fast cars, and just as quickly, they disappear. Some couldn't handle the pressure. Some weren't doing any real deals. And some were just better at marketing than they were at property. But I'm still here. I'm still investing. I'm still teaching. I'm still learning. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why most of them quit and why I didn't. It usually starts the same way. Someone does one deal, maybe two deals, they put it online and they get a little bit of traction. And then suddenly, they're a mentor. Now don't get me wrong, everybody starts somewhere. I started with one deal. But here's the difference. I didn't start teaching until I'd built up something that was worth teaching. Problem is when the hype comes first, the social proof is fake, and they sell the dream before they've lived it. And when people start asking questions, they vanish. I've seen it over and over. People think being a mentor is easier than being an investor. They're wrong. Because when you put yourself out there, you're accountable. And if you've got nothing to show, eventually people notice. And these mentors crack under the pressure. Refund requests, angry clients, delays, no pipeline, no support, just a PayPal account and a Canva logo. Because when the brand is louder than the business eventually breaks. I didn't come into this to be famous, to be well known. I came in to be free. And when you build from freedom, not fame, you've built something that actually lasts. And there have been moments in my life and in my career, real moments where I've asked myself, why am I doing this? Why am I even sat in front of YouTube? I've got deals behind me, losing money, going wrong. Okay, Ribersford House. That has been one of the hardest projects of my life. I underestimated the restoration. The legal process, English heritage, bats, the listings, I could go on, has been absolutely brutal. Throughout 7 years, the costs, one time they just kept on coming, black pit. And at one point I thought, have I made the biggest mistake of my entire career? But here's the thing most people don't see. When the deal gets tough, that's normally, for most people, when the cameras turn off. Mine didn't, because I wasn't just documenting success. I've been building through the setbacks. I didn't quit because for me, my property business isn't a side hustle. It's not a trend. It's not content. It's my life's work. I give my life to this. I've seen students buy their first homes, quit their job that they hated, start portfolios that changed their family's future. And that's why I didn't quit. Because this works. Trolls didn't stop me. The failures didn't stop me. The doubts didn't stop me. Because I knew something that they didn't. You only fail if you leave the field. And I never left. When I teamed up with my brother, Russell, in 2018, February, I had so many different businesses. I had a deal sourcing business. I had my lease options, rent to rents, property developments. I had a HMO management company. I had a furniture and dressing business. I had a construction company where we project managed people's properties. And Russell came in and did a deep dive and looked at everything, the profit and loss statements, every time drain on our resources. And Russell said, we can only have two businesses, the fast pound, the aggressive income, and the slow pound, the passive income. The slow pound was obvious. That's property, right? Our property investments and developments. The fast pound, we debated back and forth for almost 6 months. He wanted our fast pound to be deal sourcing. I wanted training. Not because training was easy, because I'd been in it a few years. I knew it wasn't, but because it was meaningful. It was mission. Russell even put together a presentation to convince me to not do the training business. He said, if we're partnering up, and he put together, because Russell's very strange, so he argues in acronyms. He put together an acronym which he called HELL. HELL. Haters, enslaved, lifetime value, and legals. Let me explain. He said, when you teach people how to make money, you attract hate. You become the target. He said, you become enslaved. You build this dream of freedom and now your phone won't stop ringing. The product is you. He said, lifetime value doesn't exist. You help someone, they succeed, they move on. You constantly need new people, new marketing, new rooms, new content to get people through the doors. And the last one, legals. You say something someone misunderstands and suddenly they blame you. Even if they're not your client, they just saw something on YouTube and bought a house and lost money. Suddenly it's your fault and you're now in the courtroom with solicitors, invoices. And you know what? He wasn't wrong. It's been hell sometimes. But I still didn't quit. Because I never built this to make it easy. I built this to make it matter. The reason I'm still here is not because I'm louder, because I built my business the same way I built up my properties, brick by brick, with solid foundations. And while others were building marketing funnels, I was building systems. While they were uploading highlights, I was chasing builders, tenants, English heritage, planning officers, and not every deal has been a win. I've made millions and I've lost millions. But every deal was real. And when I teach, I don't hand people hope. I hand them the blueprint. Some students fly. We see them on Winners on a Wednesday every week. Some students struggle. Some take years to land their first deal. But they stay in the game because I stayed in the game. And I'm not here to impress you or to impress anyone. I'm here to outlast the noise, to keep showing up, even when the cameras are off. Because in this business, staying power is the real power. I didn't make this video to sell you anything. I made it because this industry is full of echoes and no anchors. Because the people I mentor don't want shortcuts. They want skills. They want strategy. They want something that works, not just next month, but next decade. And if you're watching this and you're tired of the noise, good. I am too. I've been investing since 2009. Made millions, lost millions. I've made every mistake you've probably ever read about, and some that haven't even been written yet. And I'll still be doing this 10 years from now, because this isn't a phase or a fad. This is who I am. So if you want to learn from someone who's not just here for the season, but for the storm, subscribe. stick around. And if you're really serious, go back and see where I started. Real success isn't hype. Real success isn't clicks. Real success is staying power. And I think the difference between me and most is that I'm still here.